transition. I think they get hello.
Hey y'all. Oh my gosh.
Oh, they can kind of hear you. I think.
Hear me?
Yeah, let me turn you up.
Hello, ghost voice.
How's the audio level?
How's the audio level?
Am I too loud? Is Mom Marcus too loud?
Am I too loud? Hello, mother of the son of Jessica. Urine does not call me Mom Marcus anymore. He only calls me that or like Jessica. Which I kind of love because hardly anybody else calls me Jessica.
You yell at me when I call you Jessica.
No, I don't yell at me.
Yes, you do.
Hey, happy squirrels. No, I don't. I never yell at you.
On that note, hi guys. Mama's lower than you, that's it? Okay.
This is how it's gonna be. What did I call it the other day? Chaotic.
Shit show.
Is that what I called it? I can't remember.
That's what I call it.
It's like it's gonna be a chaotic ADD podcast or something. The chaotic mess of a podcast, but that's us. So chaotic evil. Oh, Garen said he can't really hear me.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying, silent. I want you to keep talking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I was just talking to myself like normal, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I do. Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me better? How is everybody today?
How is everybody today?
We finally got our first episode. Let's go. Also, we can hear the stream in the background. Oh.
That's me because I have it up on. I have the stream playing through my headphones. So I think it's happening. I think OBS is picking up because my mic is right next to my headphones. It's like attached. So the louder I have my headphone volume up, the easier stream will be able to hear you, Mama.
Gotcha. Can you mute the stream though on your side?
No, I mean like through Discord. Like it's picking you up through Discord.
Oh.
So I think that's how they're able to hear you. Is that okay? Like, scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it? Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone.
Like you said, like I can hear your voice really loudly on your stream thing. Slightly better, Mama. Still quiet. Do you want me to yell in Sandra's ear the whole time? How bad is it?
Screaming.
Now I can hear it. I can hear you say, how bad is it? Like you said, like I can hear your voice really loudly on your stream.
It sounds like you're on a phone call.
Slightly.
Like we're on. It sounds. I mean, it's. Listen.
Is this microphone not better than my gaming microphone?
Headset?
I mean,
I don't know.
I feel like it should be.
Oh, you know what? I can't even. Fuck.
Supernatural phone call.
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Oh, now I can't hear you at all.
Happy freaking Sunday.
I can't hear you.
Can't?
No, keep talking.
I don't want you to yell. I want you to talk instead of whisper. I am not whispering. I promise you. Have you ever in your life heard me whisper, Aaron? It doesn't happen. I just have a loud voice. Period.
Is she whispering now?
Aaron's yelling at me.
Aaron, stop yelling at the host. That's my job.
Can you guys hear the dogs in the background?
No.
Are barking.
Do that again. That was me. So I have Mama's volume turned up super loud on my headphone or like on Discord, and then I have my headset turned down super low.
Everybody, is this an ASMR Whispercast? I want to hear what it sounds like. Why does it
Hi,
sound
Fat
like
Corn.
I'm whispering?
At least it's
Put that
not yodeling.
cord.
Listen, we're working on it.
Yodel-a-hee-hoo.
Oh, fucking A.
I don't understand. I want to hear what it sounds like. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone so I can hear what I sound like.
If you hear double of it's me having it on my phone as well.
Fucking A. Yeah, I could just hear it, but that's okay. Don't you guys just love this overlay though? Sandra did such a good job.
If you hear double of it's me having it
I sound normal. Yeah, I could just hear it. Don't you guys just love this overlay though? Do you hear my phone?
I can. I muted myself to see if I can hear it on my end. I think it sounds fine. I think y'all are just being nitpicky.
I sound fine on mine.
I don't know. Marcus, thank you for the host.
Oh, my son. Hey, yo, my son.
Sounds fine to me. Mama Mia let me go.
It's good now. I hear Mama twice. Well,
Oh,
I had my phone on.
so did I.
But I turned it off, so you should be good now.
Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to the chaotic mess.
Bow.
Oh, jeez. So, I think today we're just going to kind of
Introduce ourselves.
to know us, yeah, and explain why we wanted to do this and what's going to happen in the future, right?
Yeah. Justin, thank you for the host.
And I mean, if chat has any questions, they could ask us questions too, really, this first episode. I mean, they could any episode, but...
Yeah. Also, if you guys see, like, a pop-up on screen that's not an alert, like, in the middle of the screen, if you go to the side of the stream, there are little buttons you can press to turn that on and off. I have that up for when I stream off my console. Because we will have alerts on this overlay, because I'm on OBS. But if you see that pop up twice, you can turn it off. I can't turn it off on my end, but...
Hey, Mama, do you play Fortnite? Lucky? Don't you start with me, goddammit. Just don't do it.
I can only hear when I'm not actually on the app, so have a good podcast, guys. Thank you, Marcus, for stopping by.
Jeez. My own son doesn't even support me.
Wow.
Just kidding. JK.
Alright, so, like Mama said, it's gonna get to know us podcast. Or, first episode's gonna be get to know us. Mama, you could take it away.
Oh, me? Me first? The one who doesn't speak well?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Anyway, so, yeah, most of you kind of know me and kind of know, like, my story, but I am that gay rat's mom, Marcus, and basically he started streaming, now I feel like, a couple years ago? Maybe longer than that. At least 2 years ago, he started streaming, and he would always be like, Mom, come in and talk on the stream, and come in and play games, and come in and do this. I'm like, nah, I don't really want to. Like, that's kind of weird. Like, honestly, it's like, it's so weird. Like, you're playing games for people to watch on Twitch. Like, who does that? But okay, cool. You do you. And one day, do you play Fortnite? I hate you guys so much. I am never playing Fortnite again.
She's probably gonna play tomorrow.
Probably today, actually. So basically, one day I can't even remember what game it was. Oh, I think he was playing Ark, and he just asked me to come in there and sit with him. So I came in there and sat with him, and I'm crazy, and I know you guys realize that I just say whatever I say, and so people loved me on there. Like, they were like, "Oh my gosh, where's Mom?" And who gave me the name Mama Marcus?
I think it was...
Might have been Noxie, right?
I think it was Noxie, yeah. Miss Noxie.
Yeah. So one day she just started calling me Mama Marcus, and it just stuck. So, yeah, so I would go in and play with Marcus and be on the stream and talk to everybody, and I realized this is pretty cool, and you meet some really great people. So, Marcus, I forgot his name, me and Marcus started talking about it, and we decided that I was going to start kind of streaming and see what happened. And I'm an affiliate now. And here we are. Now, me and the bestie doing a podcast.
Woo!
Could be better.
It sounded like you just it sounded like you were just doing like an advertisement for Twitch.
What could be better? $1.99 for this roll of toilet paper. Let's go. Yeah.
What games do you play? What kind of games do you play?
I play Minecraft a lot lately. I kind of get bored with games, so you'll see me play a certain game for a while. Like, I'll play it for a few weeks, and then I'll be bored with it, and I'll move on to something else. But I play actually a good variety of type of games. Like, right now, last night I started The Last of Us. I like the Battle Royale games. I'm not good at them, but I still like to play them. Because it's fun. Well, if I have like more people play with me, it's always fun with the other people carrying me. But yeah, so I like Sims. I'll try out any game at least once. But again, I get very, very bored very easily.
Full mood.
Because I am a chaotic mess. So. Yeah, that's it. That's about it.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I think it's your turn.
Well, I feel like everybody already knows. This is my channel. My name is Sandra, if you don't know. I just had my 2-year Twitch anniversary, which is pretty cool. I started off, I actually streamed when I first started, Twitch was on a different channel, and that only lasted like a month, but, I took a break from Twitch after that first channel, and then I met a community. Let's read your comment. I met a community on Twitch, and through them, they kind of gave me, I guess, the confidence to try it again, to get back into streaming. Through them, I believe I met Marcus through Miss Noxie. And then through Marcus, I met Mama Marcus. And the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. I don't have any kids. I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah, I have 2 kids. I guess I could, like, talk about that, too.
You could.
You have a dog.
I do have a dog. He is a kid who's knocked out right now. I mainly play open world visual stories, like Life is Strange. I do some FPS, like Fortnite, battle royale games, and that's it. And this podcast stemmed from me being like, "Hey, Mom Marcus, I want to do a podcast. Want to do a podcast with me?" She's like, "Sure."
I was like, duh.
And then every time...
I think I did respond, duh.
You did. And then every time we tried to do it, something just kept going wrong. And we're still learning, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just going off a MacBook.
Yeah. Good old MacBook. Love it. It'll be fine. I think it's going to be good. Like I said, we're freaking crazy, so...
What's better than 2 chaotic people having a podcast? I don't even know I don't remember where the title came from, but I feel like it fits perfectly.
You were like, we need to come up with titles, and I said, literally, my first idea was, what's this, comma, a podcast, question mark, and you were like, I love it, and I said, what? I had a good idea, let's go.
I feel like it fits well, you know?
Yeah.
What's this, a podcast?
So, yeah, do we want to talk about, like, what we're gonna cover in the future, and what kind of things we're gonna...
Yeah, so we were going back and forth about what we wanted to talk about in this podcast, because I think we both, well, first it started off as we were toying around with the idea of like a true crime, paranormal-esque type of podcast, and then from that it kind of stemmed into just a talk show type of podcast. And then I think we decided on having like little segments or episodes where we focus on one thing, like someone studies up on it, the other person like comments along, and then we switch back and forth, or We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that would be the best though, because I don't want to do. I just don't want to stick to one type of thing. Because we at first, of course, were like spooky, all spooky, because we both love the spooky things.
Yeah.
But there's so many of those out there. I think we kind of decided, why don't we just do what we're feeling like talking about that week? Or if there is a topic that we're like, ooh, this story sounds really cool, and maybe not too many people know about it, and so we're gonna, dig into that. Like she said, one of us will do the digging, so the other one's kind of not as well versed in it either. So that we get our true reactions of what we think about the story. So yeah, and we're gonna have guests.
Yeah, we already have. I think we talked about a few different people guesting at on different episodes. We were talking about how we already spent a lot of time just jumping from topic to topic, talking a lot. And it's just kind of, we figured, why not talk about it on stream, but change people's names, obviously. So we do talk a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
If anybody has ever been to any of our streams, you already know. We just say whatever we want and film. Probably not good all the time, but
we're changing names. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah. It's not going to be like Sandra to Sandra. We'll like completely change.
Oh God, yeah. It's not Mama to Jessica. Justin asks, when did y'all run into Hard and Tortuga?
So I met him first.
And then I met him through your Fat Corn! Thank you for the sub. Holy shit.
Let's go. Sub hype.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So I met him first. I think it's been almost a year, maybe like 8 or 9 months that I met him, and I met him just in another streamer's channel. Like we would always talk and hang out in there, and then one day everybody was like, ooh, Tortuga streams, and I started watching Tortuga streams, and he's fucking hilarious, and he's crazy like me. So I was like, I became, like, me and Tortuga are pretty cool. Like, I really...
Fat Corn, thank you for the follow. Sorry.
Being there to... Dang, the subscription before the follow? Let's go! But, yeah, and so then, of course, like, I would rate him or whatever, and then that's how Sadra met him.
Yeah, I met Tortuga through Marcus, and I've seen him in other streams. I never knew he was, like, a streamer. And then I started talking to him through your streams, and then I started going to his streams, and then now he's one of my favorite people. Like, he's if you guys haven't checked out Hard on Tortuga, please check him out. Actually, I'm gonna give him a quick shout out. Marcus, he makes so on his TikTok page, which is just Hard on Tortuga, he makes he has dice mold for D&D, and he Mama Marcus, I guess, commissioned a set for me, and I love them. So if you need D&D dice, hit him up.
Yeah.
Thank you for the host, Lucky.
And he's doing all kinds of different colors and stuff, so it's pretty cool. That's another thing you'll learn about us. We love our Twitch family, so we're always going to support them and shout them out. I know some people aren't like that.
Yeah.
I don't get, but, if you're here supporting us, we're going to support you. Sure.
I've noticed that you and I are very similar in the sense that when we find someone that we kind of adopt into our like little Twitch family, it's like full out like 100%. And it's not like we're not trying to toot our own horns or anything, but it's just like we go full on out. We give as much as we can to them, and then sometimes that backfires, sometimes it doesn't. We met a lot of awesome people through Twitch that we're really grateful for. But we've also, which I think we decided that I think our next episode is going to be where we talk about the types of people we've met on Twitch, and I think in that episode we should talk about, like, how easy it is to let being on Twitch get to your head. Because I feel like that's what happened with a lot of people that we mutually know.
And then, like, how people will try to... They'll be a certain way towards you, so... Because if they know that you're going to support them and they're going to, get people there, and we've ran into that, too.
Quite a few times.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always the people you'd never expect it to happen. But you live and you learn.
Yep.
Yaren
Well, here.
asks, do y'all remember how you met me? I met you through Nicole.
Yeah, I don't even think it was through Nicole, actually. I think Aaron was going to Marcus's, and I'm sure Marcus probably met Aaron through Nicole. Maybe it might have been Nicole, but
Or was
I
it
just remember
Amy?
his name, and like I loved his name, and I used to call him Saint
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
And
Yeah, and
then
then
somehow
everybody
it's
else
just
called
like,
him Aaron. Yeah, you're referring to Twitch gods.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd put them as God tier.
They're definitely not
Um,
gods.
oh, yeah, we also have a Ken's Tavern D&D page. Check it out. If you're wondering
Yeah,
why I
that's
brought
why.
up D&D.
Yeah, that's why we get the D&D dice,
Yeah.
because Sandra and Nicole and Mikey have a D&D page, and actually, um, we have a campaign right now that we do on there with Nicole. She's the DM, and it's with surrounding Peekaboo Town. But Sandra is going to be starting one soon.
Hey,
She's
yes, I
going to
am.
have her own campaign, so that's going to be exciting.
It is. It's my first time DMing. Uh, it's very different. I think you guys, even if we're all super new to D&D, and I think what I like most about Ken's Tavern is that you don't have to you don't exactly have to know anything about D&D to to be able to watch it and follow what's going on. I think Nicole, our DM, Magma Kitty Live, does an incredible job of making the plot easy to follow and um, helping viewers and players alike follow along if they get lost or fill people in. And she gives really good detail.
Yeah.
So shameless self plug.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember how we met? Justin asks. Through Tortuga. Justin and Hard on Tortuga are brothers.
Yep.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
me and Tortuga always would play games, and then Justin would start playing with us.
Justin and
And
Anthony.
now
Yeah.
Justin and Anthony, which are Tortuga's brothers, they're always around. They're part of the fam now too. And actually, Justin is streaming now. He's trying to get to affiliate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Justin is streaming, which is I think is really cool because it's like at the start I never really understood how people can have like online communities that they actually call like friends. Like I'm gonna be the first person to admit that I thought it was bullshit. I always thought it was like, oh, they're just doing it so they get money or whatever, and it's just like, oh shit, holy shit, I actually love these people. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it goes a
I'm
long way,
telling
I
you.
think. Yeah.
It took a long time for me to like get into it with Marcus because I'm like, this is so weird. And he'd be like, whatever, mom, you don't understand. And I'm like, no, it's weird. Like you're calling these people your mom and your dad, and I love them, and they're your best friends. I'm like, it's just weird to me. Like, how can you really know someone? And then after that first time, here we are. Look at me.
Look at it.
Have some respect. They were on the grind, and now they're ascended. Actually, they're not. Most of them that we're talking about. That's the problem.
They're listen, I don't think they're
They're in the same class as us, basically.
yeah, I don't think I wouldn't ever call any of them bad people. I think they just
No.
have different intentions than we do. And I think it really starts to show when I'm really trying to dance around the topic because I don't want to say anything that could incriminate me. But it goes to show who the people who like when certain situations happen, especially when it's like online, like on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. It's super easy to see who's genuine and who's not. And it's like when emotions are running high, it's easy to be like, oh well, whose side are you on? And then it's always the people who are like, and you were saying this to me like the entire time, Marcus. I think you know what I'm talking about. But like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
the entire time you're like, we don't want you to pick a side. While the other parties involved were like, whose side are you on? This and that. I'm like, okay, that was a no brainer for me. Like, yeah. And again, we're
That's
gonna
the
get
thing.
more into that topic
Yeah.
later on.
It's been an interesting ride for us on Twitch. That's what's so crazy. That's why topic next week will be very interesting, I think.
It will be very interesting. I think it will be a bit of a longer episode. I think we're aiming for like an hour, 2 hours on this one. Um, but want to, like, we don't want to, like, trash talk people. We just kind of want to make it, like, I would want, if, when I was starting off Twitch, I would have loved to have, like, a learning experience where I could, like, sit down and listen to people, like, talk about, like, the do's and don'ts and, like, what to do when you encounter certain people, so.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially, it'll help, people that's starting off or trying to decide if they want to try to stream or whatever. I think it'll help in that situation, honestly.
Yeah, hopefully.
Aaron said, weren't you a part of Amy Sims challenge?
I was thinking, but when he brought that up, I think I remember meeting Yearn through Amy, God is a Girl. And then, I met Amy through Nicole.
Right, exactly.
Because she rated Nicole, and then through Nicole, I met Amy, God is a Girl, Call Me Ames, Mikey Likes It, I think.
Aaron. We've met a
Yearn.
lot of people through, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure I met Aaron through Marcus, but Marcus met Aaron through Nicole.
Yeah.
So,
It's super interesting to see how quickly, like, communities and, like, Twitch families, we always call it a Twitch family because that's what it, like, is, essentially. But, it's,
for sure is.
it's like a little community that you would, like, that you find yourself, if you're wondering what a Twitch family is, it's like, a family is essentially like a group of people that you connect with and you feel comfortable with. And that's what our Twitch family is. And we found out not as often, but whenever something comes up and we not lose a family member, but like something happens, we don't really talk to them anymore. There's always like half a dozen more people coming in that are just like completely change your outlook on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Better people for you. And that's another thing. The people that, we've had problems with, I don't necessarily always think that they're just going out to try to, hurt somebody, but personalities and different ways of looking at things. So
yeah, I don't think anyone. I'm an optimist. I think is that what it's called? Where
like you see the bright side of things.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever has any bad intentions. I think everyone just has their own reasons for doing and saying things at the specific moment in time that they're in, and I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that unless people are getting severely hurt. And the experiences we've had, I think enough people got hurt, but I think there's a lesson learned from everything, and I'm not gonna say I wish that experience that event, which we'll talk about more again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I wish it never happened because I feel like we've all learned a lot more. I feel like I've grown a lot closer to the parties involved that I'm still talking with.
Exactly.
Also, hi, Wordy.
I was gonna say something. Oh, Justin, I'm in the middle of a podcast.
What'd he say?
You're sending an invite on Fortnite. I can't stand him.
Why do you have Fortnite up?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. He said it's a joke. You jackass.
A whole mess.
He does it all the time, though. I'm telling you, I log into my PlayStation and it's like, invite. Anyway, so yeah. So, does anybody, like, have any other questions, or?
Yeah, feel free to ask us anything besides, do we play Fortnite? Because I know that's coming. I don't know what else to, I feel like since we're on Twitch, let's go with the obvious question. What are your top 3 favorite games and your top 3 least favorite games?
Top 3 favorite games, definitely Until Dawn.
Very good game. I loved watching you play it.
Literally one of the best games. Like, I
well made.
I don't understand all of the people that talked so much shit about it and hated it. Like, it's just astounding to me because it's so good. 2 top. Least favorite, Apex.
You don't like Apex?
I hate Apex. I just don't like it. I can't get into it. It's just not fun to me. Like, I don't know. And I know it's a lot like a Fortnite game. It's kind of, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the people that play it. I don't like how the game is set up. just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I've
It's
noticed
definitely my
it's
least favorite.
very competitive. It's hard to get into a
Yeah,
game of Fortnite or a game of Apex and enjoy it like with a group of friends like you would in a game of Fortnite.
yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. When I was like trying to go in there and play, because Marcus absolutely loves Apex, one of his favorites.
Mhm.
Um, he, I would try to go on there, and we'd have somebody come in like random in the third three people group, and I'm like, nobody ever talks on there. You
No.
never have the other person has a mic, and it's so weird to me. Like, it's too hard sometimes to play a game like that without the people having a mic. Like we know because of Lucky, what the good thing with Lucky is he would chat, if we
Yeah.
were streaming. So we lucked out there, but it's just too hard. And to me, it doesn't make it as fun. Like if I can't talk to you and we can't shit talk and scream and rage out together, like that's just not fun to me. So
Makes sense.
definitely Apex. I don't know. What is my other? Oh, I do. And I hate what they've done with GTA 5. I hate it. I hate that they keep re-releasing it. I hate that they're re-releasing it with the PlayStation 5. Like that makes me so mad. Make a new fucking game. I understand it's a big game and it's hard, but you've done with Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2's been out now for how long?
Mhm.
Make another GTA. Stop releasing GTA 5. But on the other note, GTA 5 is definitely one of my favorite games to play. Like I could go back and play that game over and over again probably. And I think it's because I do love like the open world to where there's the side missions, and even when I played it like I played it a second time and I'm like, whoa, I never did this mission before. Like so you just find new things.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love GTA 5. I love that type of game, but it's just so annoying what they've done with it.
Yeah,
So dumb.
GTA was I it's not my top favorite, but it's also not the my like I also don't hate the game. Like I could go through and replay the main missions like a dozen times because it's like you said, it's open world, it's fun, but it is the
Yeah.
re-release thing that's making it very not fun. Is the word is
Yeah, it's like making people not realize how great of a game it was
yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like the people that were gonna play GTA, they were gonna play it. They're not gonna play it after you've released it 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make somebody want to play it. I just don't understand it. So I feel like it's like putting this bad cloud around GTA 5, but I don't know. But yeah, that's one. Actually, the GTA series, like probably one of my favorite series. Um, I like to play for sure, all of them. But I don't know really what I told you I get so bored with games. It's hard for me to say like because like I keep going back to old games like when I was younger. That's another thing is the games now are not as great.
Oh yeah, I think the yeah, easily. The older games I would easily I can name like 5 older games that top any recent game that's came out.
Yeah,
Just because of
yeah.
like for when it like when that game came out, it was like top tier. Like everybody played that game. Like that was top. Like you couldn't get better than that game. And now the games that are coming out now, it feels like they're just like trying to one up each other, trying to make more money. It doesn't feel as
It's like
genuine.
a lot of the same to me.
Yeah, for
Thing.
sure.
Yeah, and then like I said, yeah, no, I totally agree, bro. Like they are great and they look great. Like we were playing Sea of Thieves the other day, and holy shit, that game is amazing looking. Like it's just
If
so amazing.
yeah, if I
But
was a kid playing that game, I would think like that was like everything.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I just and maybe it's just me lately. I'm just so just over the games that I have right now. I don't know. We'll see though with The Last of Us 2. I was very excited to get The Last of Us 2. What was that game I just played? Man of Maiden.
I was gonna buy that at GameStop yesterday because I personally did like that game, but I'm
I hated
also
it.
into the choice based games.
And I want to play it again, honestly. I do to see because I did actually pretty good, but it was very short.
It's a very short
It
game.
the ending was terrible. Like it
It
wasn't it. I think too, I was like comparing it to Until Dawn, and that's not fair, even though it's the same creators.
Yeah, it's
It's
hard to
still not
not
fair.
compare games when they're made by the same people.
Yeah,
Especially when the people who
absolutely.
create the games compare the games. So you go in
Yeah,
there with the expectation of, oh, this is going to be as good and as in depth and as long as Until Dawn. But it's like,
and it, yeah, and it wasn't. It disappointed me. But who knows? Maybe I'll play it again and I'll love it this time. I don't think so. The story is okay. Like I enjoyed the story.
The story was
I
really good.
just wanted more of the story. I wanted more.
It felt very
No,
rushed. As somebody who was watching you play
yeah,
it, the game itself felt rushed. Like they're just like,
it
oh,
was.
we need to release a game within 2 years. Let's just do something that has the length of a mission when and release it as a full blown game.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Which there's supposed to be a part two coming out, and they showed the preview. Did you see that when I streamed it? At the
I
very end, after the credits, they showed the preview for the next game.
I think so. Yeah, I think I saw that.
It looks really good, but again, so did Man and Made It, the first part. And so I'm like, I can't remember what the actual damn name of the game was. It's so terrible.
It's very disappointing when companies put in a lot in movies, too, and shows, and they put so much time and money and effort into the trailer, and then when the actual product, be it the game, the movie, the show, when it comes out, it just falls flat, and it's
Yeah.
incredibly disappointing.
The worst for me is when you see basically all of the movie in the trailers.
Oh God, yeah. Because then you
Like,
know it's not going to be a good movie. When the trailer is more than like 2.5, 3 minutes long, it's like no, I'm done.
yeah,
Because then you know
absolutely.
they've got nothing going because they can't. They're like, oh, we need filler, so let's all put it in there.
Yeah, that's so annoying. So, like, what would your top three be then?
Um,
And your worst three?
my top three would have to be. I'm a huge fan of the Walking Dead series, the Telltale games. So I would easily put that game series as number one. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Because again, I love open world games. I love games that you can clearly see that the creators have put like time and effort into the game, and it's not just kind of something like a flat out like boring thing.
Right.
Um, and I'd have to say for my third favorite would be if we're doing like recent games, it would have to be. Oh God, I don't know actually.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard.
I don't think I have. It would be Walking Dead and Red Dead 2 or my top. I guess out of the recent games that I've played, I would put The Wolf Among Us and The Life of Edith Finch. I would put those two hand in hand because I really like Telltale games like that.
The Life of Edith Finch, was that the one where you didn't really make too many choices in it and you were going through
Yeah, you just
like
kind of
a
like
house?
yeah, you
A
just go through
journey?
like the story. I loved that game. It was super easy. It was
Yeah.
super simple, and it was chill. You could just hang out, and the story depth was crazy. And I like games like that,
Yeah.
the kind that are like I'm very polar. I love games that have like full detail, like Red Dead, and then I also love games like Edith Finch, where it's just like you're just following along a story, but then you can also go off and like redo a part or look at something else. So my least
True.
favorite games, uh, God, I don't know if I have a least favorite game.
That's what I mean, like, and sometimes I like watching a game more than I do playing it. Is that weird? Like, I know that sounds weird, but oh, you know, another series I love are the Lego games. I know
Lego
they're
is
so
a
simple and
classic.
childish, but like, I don't know, they're just so fun, and it makes you like remember, like, I'm in the middle of Harry Potter, and it's just everyone knows that's one of my favorite things, but not everyone, but a lot.
Yeah, Harry Potter is also a classic. With that, if we were talking about old school games, I could name so many like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot,
I
freaking
like the original Ratchet and Clank. That was one
Oh
of my
my
favorite
God,
games.
Ratchet and
Yeah,
Clank was like the fucking original Mario, the original Pokemon. My first game that I've ever played was the original Pokemon on the original gameplay, and from that it just kind of like stemmed into it. From there, I'm just like, this is like this is like the top tier gaming. Like, it doesn't get better than this. And then seeing, it's just that, if we're talking about old school games, it would easily be those 4 or 5.
You know what we didn't talk about is what systems we play on.
Oh, true. Also, real quick before we continue, hi Nicole.
Oh, hey Nicole.
I know we don't want to like cut each other off as we're talking, so whenever we get a break, I think we want to stop and say hi to people in chat. Bro said Zelda Breath of the Wild. Nicole, Breath of the Wild is wonderful.
I don't have a Switch.
I've watched Miss Noxie play it.
Amazing.
It's gorgeous. Oh my god, watching Miss Noxie play it was absolutely incredible. Like, seeing it from the first Legend of Zelda, and the first Pokemon, too, to seeing it where it is now, holy shit. Oh, I have another game I like. Remind me of it. Have you played Endless Ocean on the Wii?
I don't think so.
So,
I had a Wii, but I don't remember that game.
So, basically, if I remember correctly, the concept was you're just like a marine biologist and you dive into the water and you just kind of like swim around, and there aren't any like bad like evil characters. Like, all you have to do is go around and like scan the creatures and learn about them, and it was pretty.
So you're like learning, and it's not like because that's the thing. I do sometimes like games where I'm not worried about what's coming next, what I'm gonna have to fight next. Like, that's interesting, and I kind of think that's how that Edith Finch game was for me when I watched you play that.
I was expecting something to happen. Like, I was expecting something to jump out.
It didn't. It just was more like
it tugged on your heartstrings.
See how beautiful this game.
It really showed that you don't need like a bad guy. You don't need like some big climactic event. You don't need something like that to happen for the game to be good. Like, the game in itself,
it was different.
It was really good.
Yeah. I enjoyed games when I was younger. I don't think they're worse now. Right. And I kind of said that earlier. I totally agree with you. They're not worse now. It's just, I don't know, sometimes I just get bored easily.
It feels very cookie cutter. And also, another from Aaron's comment about the spiders in Harry Potter, that reminded me of, if I had to do top 5, I would put the Spider-Man games in there from PlayStation 2, because I love Spider-Man.
What is he talking about? The freaking spiders?
Yeah, the spider scene that took a little bit.
Listen, spiders. I can't help it. Fake spiders. It freaks me out. You should see me when I play Minecraft. The spiders.
I hate them.
Marcus come in search of a freaking mine with me because there were 4 spider spawns. Like, I just can't do it. I can't. It's the only thing in life that scares me, except for something happening to my kids. Period.
Well, we should also do an episode of where we just talk about like our fears and stuff. That'd be cool.
Ooh, that would be cool.
But
also, like, people in chat can give us some ideas. Like, go to our Discord. Go to Sandra's Discord and give us an idea. Because you started a podcast. On Discord, right?
I did. It's WTAPD, I think. It's under the stream section. Like you said, for me, story-based games are good, but that's why some people got mad at Breath of the Wild, is because they wanted it to be story-based like the other Zelda games. But I liked it because it was like its own world and its own open world. That's why I liked it too. I could see why people wouldn't like it because it's not a story-based enough. But I thought it was a good mix between the two.
Yeah, and it's kind of what these kids want more now, so, they have to adapt to what people are growing into and want. So, I get it. Like I said, the original Zelda on, what was it? Was it Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo? Super Nintendo, I think.
Super Nintendo, I think.
That's one of my all-time favorite games. I've played it probably 7 times, and I was young during then. So, like, for sure. So I kind of get it why people are like, but it's, when you watch it, it's so beautiful. It's what people want. So
it is very, I have to say, it is very interesting seeing the game, like the quality of games and the expectations of games progress from like from when I was a kid, and I'm only 22. That wasn't that long ago. But seeing like I grew up with like handheld Game Boys and PlayStations ones to like the 2D stuff. Like if something was even remote, it was like, was it like Meteoroid that was kind of 3D, but like stuff like that where that was like revolutionary to seeing stuff how it is now, where worlds like Red Dead and GTA aren't good enough. They're not open worldy enough. That just
Yeah,
it's crazy to see, but at the same time, it's pretty cool because it makes you wonder what the future of games are actually going to be like.
it's crazy. That's another thing. We didn't even talk about. We are not good about talking about ourselves.
We're not. We're talking about stuff
Clearly.
we like. It counts towards it, I think.
But like, I didn't even mention that I'm old as hell.
You're not. What the fuck?
And I have 2 kids. One just graduated from high school. That's how old I am.
So dramatic.
I played on the original Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
Like that
what
was when
games?
I was young.
What are all the consoles that you've played from like the first one to now?
Of
The,
course, I had
owned
what was it? Sega.
Sega.
The
Oh
original.
God.
Yeah. I had. We had a Nintendo. We had Super Nintendo. Like my family's always been a gaming family.
Mm-hmm.
Even my parents, they're not into it as much as we are, but they definitely were gamers. Like we'd all be in there playing 007 and playing Mario Kart, and like so I for sure get it from them, and then I pass it on to my kids because Deasia doesn't stream, but she plays a lot of games. You guys see, she plays with us sometimes, but yeah, I had a GameCube. I had a PS1. We had the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64. We had a Wii. Never had a Wii U. Never had a Switch. We had Xbox 360. So we went from PlayStation 1 to Xbox 360, which I know is kind of a weird jump, but that's how it was. And then from the Xbox 360, we went to the PlayStation 4. And so that's where I'm at now, PlayStation 4.
Are you gonna get the PS5?
I'm sure. Sega Genesis, yes, that was it. Sega Genesis. Yep, that was exactly it.
I think
Um,
my first console that I ever got was the not including the first console I did get was like a Game Boy, but I wouldn't count that as a console because for me that handheld consoles and like stationary consoles are two different things.
yeah, because I didn't count those because I of course had like I had a
I,
Game Boy, I had a PSP. Did you ever have a PSP?
yes, I thought that was the shit when I got my PSP.
Yep, and it just tanked.
It was so bad, but it was so
So
good.
bad.
It was
Oh,
good
just
because
like
we didn't know any better from that. Like that was
yeah,
like the best. And now it's just like looking back at it, it's just like what the fuck? That was like the
that's
worst thing ever.
yeah. There was a game though on there that we played. Oh my god, what was the name of that game? It was like drumming. You had to go with like the drums. The people were like shadows. Oh god, it was like oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. I have to figure it out. But it was on the PSP, and I freaking just played that game all the time.
Shadow Destiny?
No,
Patapon?
yes, Patapon. That's it, right
I
there.
typed in PSP Shadow Drum game on the Google.
It's such a good game to me. It was so stupid, but you know what's funny is actually Patapon. It's kind of like an iPhone game that you play now,
Oh,
or
is
like
it?
a Facebook game. Yeah,
Wow.
honestly, now that I think about it, for sure, it sounds like from your gaming we might be close in age. I'm 37. Am I 37? Did I turn 38? 37. I was born in 83. Yeah, so I'm 37. So yeah.
I think the first game console I got was the Nintendo 64. And then I kind of went back and I got Atari after that, and I got Sega, and I got PlayStation 1, 2, and then from there I got the Xbox One, I got all these consoles were like handed down from my cousins. We couldn't afford like an actual console.
That's sweet though.
Yeah, he was like super into it, and then from the Xbox One, I got the 360. That was the first console my parents bought me, and then that's not including because there are a bunch of Game Boys and PSPs and stuff in there. And
Yeah.
now I have Xbox One, but I am thinking about buying a PlayStation 3, 4, not 3.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with how many games are out, to be honest.
Yeah. I think too the reason because we were very poor growing up until he's my dad, but he's technically my stepdad. Until he came into the picture, we just were really really poor. But gaming systems were not as expensive as they are now, for sure. So I think that's why we had so many gaming systems. Maybe we got into it because we didn't have money to do like other type of things that other families were doing. So, for
Yeah.
Christmas we would get the Nintendo or we would get the Nintendo 64, and that's why we, were so into games because it was like family time for us because we love board games too. That's another thing. I've always wanted to do like a live stream of playing some type of board games. Marcus has done it a couple times. So we love it.
Oh, see, I grew up an only child, and both my parent I grew up. I still am an only child. Um, both my parents worked a lot when I was younger, so I always had the console. I was always like given console, like hand me down consoles for just like because I'd be home alone for hours at a time, and then they'd be like, "Oh well, here, this will entertain you." And I like back then I hated watching TV, so I would just sit there either reading or playing like a super old like GameCube outside of GameCube. I'd be playing like super old games, and from there, I think from always being like always playing video games like whenever I had free time, I think that's kind of like what got me into like what really got me into it because I started like appreciating it more. So I'm like, oh shit, this is actually really cool, and it's like its whole like a little world thing.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that for sure. Oh my God, Anthony, you still have a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo?
I have my Nintendo 64 and my PlayStation 2 that I bought to campus that I was going to set up
Oh
with the
my
capture
God.
card to play the old school Spider-Man, but it crashed. It just couldn't keep up with the capture card. I'm going to try
Oh
again here.
no.
But absolutely love the old school games. Like if I could choose
Yeah.
between either playing the new school games like after 2010 or pre 2010, I would easily pick pre 2010.
Well, and the thing is sometimes I'm in the mood to play a simpler game, and I feel like when we were younger, the games were just a little bit more simple. And now it's just like, whoa, sometimes it's just too much for my ADD. So I think that's why I go back and forth. Like I said, I love the new games; they're beautiful.
Mhm.
What's up, Marcus? Good. Marcus is here. Let's say hi. But yeah,
What's
so
good?
but yeah, I appreciate all old and new games. I appreciate it. I pray even if it's a game that I just don't care for, I still appreciate the work that goes into it. So I don't want to sound like I'm like, ugh, new games, blah blah blah. But no, that's what I sound like. On the Google.
I said
Does
on the
anyone
Google.
else remember? Oh, you did. Does anyone else remember the old Aladdin game? I'm trying to recall the. That was on Super Nintendo, right?
I thought it was on. Yeah,
On Super
actually.
Nintendo.
Do
Yeah.
you remember on the Nintendo 64 the Pokemon Stadium?
Pokemon State. Now, here's the thing, and this is going to be like, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? But I am not a Pokemon player. I
Wow.
like
No, it's
watching
fine.
it sometimes, but I've never played it. Like, I've just never got into it.
No, see, that's like me with Mario. Fun fact, I hate Mario unless it's the first like two generations of it. Anything after that, I think is absolutely crap. It's repeated, and
I
I
mean,
don't
I love
like it.
Mario. And that kind of tells our age, honestly,
I
if you
think
think
so.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a bunch of consoles. That's crazy, Anthony. Anthony, you're just spoiled, is what I'm seeing in the comments right now.
Sega. That makes more sense. It makes
Yeah.
more sense that it was
Well,
Sega. I mean,
Was it Sega?
yeah.
Oh,
The Super Nintendo definitely, I remember seeing that.
it was a Sega game.
We have
Super
a
Super
game
Nintendo.
store near me. God, I forgot. I forgot what it's play. I forgot what it's called. I'm not going to say the exact name because it is a local game store, and it's going to pinpoint my location exactly because there's only
Yeah.
like 3 in the state. But
We doxed ourselves enough.
I doxed myself a dozen
Fuck.
times. But there it has a section of like old school games like Sega, Atari, they had like the setup. I'll have to take a picture of it next time I go in there. But like the display case itself looks like it's like from the 90s. Like it just looks so nostalgic and so cool. I remember the one time I was in there, I was looking for a PlayStation game. Wow, an Xbox game, and this kid walks in. He's like 10 maybe at the time, and he goes, "Dad, why does that display case look so old and gross? Who'd want to play that?" And you can see the pain. The kid's like, "Dad, that game looks so stupid. Who'd want to play?" And you can just see the look of pain across the dad's face. He's just like, "Oh."
Oh,
I'm like,
that's me.
I
I'm
like
that
went
old.
to him. I'm like, "Dude, I get it." I felt myself cry a little bit. It was absolutely crazy.
My mom and dad grew up in that era, so they played them and they introduced me to Nintendo. Yeah. I tried to play the Marios on the Wii and Wii U was like, this is shit. Isn't the Mario on the Wii was Sunshine, right?
I heard a lot of people absolutely hate it. The Wii U, I think, is what the Switch should have been, or I think they intended the Wii U to be the Switch, and they kind of fucked up a
Yes,
little bit.
absolutely. But was it not Sunshine, Mario Sunshine
I think so. I also
on
don't
the
know.
Wii?
I
Which
don't
is
like
funny because
Mario.
I actually really liked Mario Sunshine, but I'm a Mario person.
What was that Wii game where it was like New Horizons, or it was like Animal Crossing, but it wasn't exactly Animal Crossing. I forgot what it was called. I remember playing it for like I put in like hundreds
See,
of
I played
hours.
the first Animal Crossing on the Wii.
Was
That
it
was where
Animal
yeah, the
Crossing?
first Animal Crossing was on the Wii.
Game Sunshine started on GameCube.
Oh, yeah. Animal Crossing started on GameCube? Oh, maybe. Yikes. Was Sunshine GameCube? Okay, I always forget about the GameCube.
It is after a certain point, it gets really weird to like decipher, like, figure out like what came from what console.
Yeah,
Harvest Moon, yeah, I think that's what it was called. Fat Corn. Um, it's like after a certain point, games just kind of feel like that was like that generation. Like,
yeah,
it just feels
yeah.
weird looking back because I know if those games came out today, nobody would play them. Maybe like the people who are like into Stardew, into that 8-bit style, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'll
But
do
see,
as well.
those type of games to me are kind of what you play on Facebook games, right? Like on your
Yeah,
phone.
those
Like
are
the
like the
Stardews and
Farmville games.
like that TFT game that you play. Like those are just
Hmm.
so I don't know.
Thank you for the lurk,
Thanks for
Justin.
the lurk, Justin. Um, yeah, I actually loved my GameCube. I just forget about it, which is funny. Just
I do
really
too,
funny because I
yeah.
really loved my GameCube. But like I liked the games on there. I think it's hard for me too, because I have been through so many systems and I have been through so many different games that I just forget a lot of them. Like
Yeah.
for some reason, it just popped into my mind. What was it? Viva Pinata
Oh my
on the
god.
Xbox 360.
They just came out with a remastered version of it, I think. Like
Did
redid
they?
it? I think so.
For the Xbox
Absolutely
One?
crazy. I think I saw it on the game store, Microsoft store.
Because that's an Xbox game, right?
I think so. I remember
Yeah.
that game, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's what, because we had the 360 with the Xbox 360, and I loved that game. And it was just so stupid. So dumb.
It was like so it's like Spyro. Like Spyro is such like a easy it looks so easy to play, but it's just something about playing it that you just kind of get so immersed into it.
Yeah, Shovel Knight? People said it looked cool. Side by side, no comparison. Shovel Knight. What is that game on? What is that?
Shovel Knight. That sounds familiar. That was
You,
with
are
the
you on
little.
the Google?
I should be on the Google. It's like a. It's like a. It's like a computer game, isn't it? Computer game. Wow.
This is how old I am. The first time I played Sims was on the PC.
Like the original. Oh
Sims.
yeah.
Yeah, the very first original Sims came out on the PC. You had the disc, the compact disc,
I.
and you put it in there. And then if you wanted to do any upgrades or get any new things, you had to have that one in there first downloaded, and then you had to add, like if you wanted to add, I think one was like animals or something at one point, and
Yeah.
you had to get the disc and go on there, and it would take hours and hours for this freaking download because
Oh god. Yeah.
we were on AOL. Like that's how old I am.
I remember with Sims. It was God Sims 2. I think it was Sims 3 when it first came out, and when Sims 3 the base game first came out, and then when the first expansion game came out, I remember it taking like a day and a half to download. And that wasn't even like that long ago, but that was insane. And now it takes like fucking 30 seconds.
Yeah, for some people, sometimes, some games
I
depends
can't
on your
relate to
internet.
having I can't relate to having a slow internet.
Jerk. It's a game about a knight with a shovel. Oh well, duh.
It was like a side scroll game, right? Like fuck, I always do this every time because there's this one game that I remember playing and loving when I was younger. I have it saved. Uh I'm on their Discord.
Anthony, you are in Sims. I made you a character, so technically you got into Sims.
Jesus.
Shoot. Our early reminder to stand up and stretch and hydrate. Also, be reminded that every single one of us loves you dearly. Your chat. Aw, we do love you, Sandra.
I appreciate it. Love you guys too.
What
I don't
must be nice? Oh, the Wi-Fi, fast internet. Yeah,
I'm
let's
trying
not
to
get started about Anthony's internet and
uh
headsets.
Free Realms. Do you guys remember that?
Was it
Free Realms?
rounds? No.
Oh my god, the amount of hours I put into this goddamn game.
I wonder
Absolutely
if this
ridiculous.
was like around the time to where my kids were very young, so I wasn't playing as much.
Free. Let me see when it came out. It came out in 2009 on PlayStation 3, Windows, and that's it.
What did you do in it?
It was just like a open. It was like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like you'd have to look at photos of it. It's like it's a kind of like an
I can't
open
even
world
find
where
it.
you just type in Free Realms.
Did and it's who the hell uses Bing?
You apparently.
No, I don't. Why the hell did that come up?
So Free Realms is like an open world where it's like an MMO pretty much, and you go and like do quests and stuff. And it was a sick fucking game. I remember playing it for so long. There was another one where it was like set in a tree or something. I forgot what it was called.
So there's more than one of them?
Like style, like a game similar to that.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
forgot exactly what it was called. Listen, it took maybe it was Wizard 101. I'm thinking about too. But it took me I remember I was watching Magma's stream and it took me maybe I remember we were talking about old games and that game got brought up and I spent like hi Mickey. I spent like 2-3 hours searching for it. And I was like scrolling through like Wikipedia's like games from 2008 through 2009. That was Free Realms, Nicole. I thought Marcus was your pet bunny.
Oh my goodness gracious.
If you guys hear
Yes,
barking, by the way, if you didn't know, Marcus and I both have animals.
yes.
I have a dog. He just came to say hi.
They're spoiled as hell.
He's my baby. If there was a camera on, he'd be right in
Oh,
front of it.
when I have Zoom meetings with work, Piper gets right next to my face, and everybody's like, "What the hell?"
Mickey used to do the same thing where at one point I was in class over Zoom, and I went to the bathroom and I came back and Mickey was sitting in front of my laptop. He somehow turned because it's like when you press spacebar, it turns the camera on. Um, and he stood on my laptop, and my teacher was like calling to him. They're like whistling, trying to get him to bark. He was like tilting his head all up in the camera. It was
Oh
very
my
funny.
gosh, that's hilarious. Oh man, I always remember those games I would play as a kid. Yeah, I
Club Penguin.
weird ones. I would play like um, a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, Sims.
I loved Zoo Tycoon. I could never get into Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Loved it. That was my first. I loved it. Somebody told me that you can actually play Roller Coaster Tycoon now.
Yeah, you can get it in like Steam and stuff, I think. And it's
Is
on
it?
their
Is it just
console.
only PC?
No, it's
It
on
is on the
console.
console?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What?
With that, I'm confusing it with a different game.
I gotta look this up. I don't remember who was telling me about it.
Do you remember what the very first game was that you've played?
Very first game.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I'm so old. It was probably just like a Donkey Kong or a
On Game Boy.
on Nintendo. Or Donkey
Oh
Kong or
yeah.
Mario. Ooh, Burger Time. That was the first game I ever played on
Burger
Nintendo.
Time.
Huh? Do you know what this game is?
I don't think so.
You basically had to. I don't remember everything about it, but you basically had to get the burgers put together. So like you had to climb up these ladders. It was kind of like a off game of Donkey Kong.
Sounds like it.
And so like you just climbed up the ladders, and first the buns would be on the bottom, and then you would have to climb up next to the hamburger, and then the cheese and the lettuce and the top of the bun or whatever. You had to do it within like a certain amount of time, I think. And then there was things there that would try to hurt you.
I think I
Yeah.
remember. I remember that
So
game.
fun.
I think my first game was. I want to say Metroid. Throwing back like old school. It was either Metroid or like Mega Man, maybe? No.
Good game.
Mega Man? Yeah.
I loved Metroid, the originals. They have made more Metroids, right? But I don't think I think I've only ever played the original Metroid. Was that on Super Nintendo? Or was it Nintendo 64?
Sorry. Thank you, Yarn, for removing the timeout on Fact Form. Do you guys play Itch.io or Twine Games? I do not. What is that, Fact Form? Sorry, to cut you off on Marcus.
Oh, you're fine.
Fact Form got a timeout, apparently.
Why?
Stream elements.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying?
I played the first Metroid. I think it was the Nintendo 64 or the Super Nintendo. I can't remember which one. But I didn't even realize what it was until my dad came. My mom and my dad got married. I say my dad, but he's technically my stepdad. And he played Metroid, and he got me into that game big time. But I never played any of the newer ones.
There's newer ones?
I'm pretty sure. Isn't there more than one?
There's more than one, but it came out in 86, 87, I think.
I feel like in the 90s
It was like
there was
Nintendo's.
that might have been on the. I don't know. Maybe it was. I was thinking there was one like for the the Wii or the GameCube, but I never played any of those. Like I only played like the original one.
Yeah, I think the original was on the NES. I think that's where I played it. I know it was on the DS, it was on the Game Boy. God, I do not remember.
Never had a DS.
I had several.
Yeah, I don't think my kids did. That was more like my kids around my kids' age, right? When they were kids, they were younger.
I
So
think so.
like
It
they
was like,
had DSs, but I never had a DS. I had the Game Boy.
yeah,
I
DS
had the
was big. It
PSP.
was big like 10 years ago, I think.
It's so crazy. It seems like it was like way longer than that.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. I
But the thing
remember.
is, you really sit down and start talking about games, and you're like, all of these different games that were out there, and you think you know about so many different games, and then somebody brings up a game, and you're like, what is that? Isn't that just crazy?
It's wild, yeah. But I think that's what's cool about it, because you can like seeing where games were like Metroid compared to like I keep saying like Grand Theft Auto, insanely different games, but like so good in their own way.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, I loved Castlevania. Did anybody ever play Castlevania?
I remember it. I don't know if I've ever played it, but I remember seeing it.
It's an old game. It's an old game. So I'm saying it's so funny to me because like I'll remember all these old games I used to play and I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Anthony, yes, I did love Donkey Kong Country, but the original Donkey Kong on Nintendo was nothing like Donkey Kong
Oh
Country.
God, I forgot about Donkey Kong. Do you remember in the big
Yeah.
like arcade machines? The fucking No, I remember what my first game was. It was fucking like Pac-Man or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
I
on
didn't
one
even
of
think
those
about
like
that. I guess that technically
yeah, like the big ass
game.
like arcade machines.
Yeah. Do they even have arcades anymore? Like, do they make arcades
Yes. In
in
my
places?
in my local mall, and I'm not gonna say which mall or the game, the arcade, what the arcade is called, because I made that mistake one too many times. Um, they still have like an arcade where you go in there and you toss quarters and you get tickets. It's like kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese, but it's not like a Chuck E. Cheese. But
No,
like,
because Chuck
yeah.
E. Cheese doesn't really have like
Oh my
arcade
god, I
machines.
remember when we first moved here, and the first time we went in there, it was like hella old school. And now they have fucking virtual reality shit in the corner.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, I remember when they first got this big, like, it was, I think it was called, like, 3D immersive Jurassic Park or something, but it was, like, this big, like, box thing that you sit in, and there's, like, this screen in front of you, and you have, like, these little guns, and it's, like, surround sound.
Yes.
Dude, I remember when
Yes.
that came in, there was a line for it. And now when you go there, there's, like, you bet your ass, whenever I go to the mall, I still go in there. Fucking
That
22,
is
I push the kid
hilarious.
out of the way, go, bitch, this is my turn. I want to
We
play.
definitely do not have arcades at our malls. For sure, we do not.
God, I still live in the
They
middle
need
of butt shit nowhere.
to. Yeah, I live in a pretty, but that's the thing. I live in a pretty big city. Like you would think that they'd have
There is this arcade in New
somewhere there'd be like,
York. There's an arcade in New York that's like hella old school. Like everything's the same, minus like the mold and asbestos that was all over the place. But you know.
that would be cool. That would be a place that we could go visit when we finally come to New York
God, that'll
and
be
you get to
fun.
come with us. That would be so fun.
I
Just
keep
to
telling
visit.
them. For those who don't know, we don't live in like the same state. Oh, Marcus and I keep telling them to move to New York. Fucking blow all your life savings on a one bedroom apartment. To come to New York, get all of them a full tour. We can do a couple IRL streams.
Oh my god, that would be so amazing. I
Right.
think that would actually be a lot of fun.
New York is
We're
like
gonna do it.
New
We're
York is
going
one
to
of my
finally
favorite
figure it out.
places.
I love Chicago, and everyone tells me as much as I love Chicago that I would love New York.
Oh, easy. Now, I've never been to
It's just kind
Chicago,
of
but like
funny.
New York, like it's like its own world in there. Like I remember when I first went to New York, it's just like I'm such a city person. As much as I love the quiet, I could easily see myself living in a big city. And I do want to move to a big city one day, but it was just like it's like I think the whole thing is going from like a suburb area from where I live now to such a busy, bustling city like New York is like crazy, and I loved it. It's like
Yeah.
either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah. And see, I love the city, but I actually want a farm. I want to move to the country. I want a farm. I want horses and goats and to be able to adopt all of the animals that need adopting. Like, but I love the city. Like, I'm fine in the city. I love living where I do. I love all the people. I'm fine with that. But my dream is to have a country home with acres and no one around me.
See, my dream
Just
house
so
is to
crazy.
like live in the middle of like I've always said my dream city is like a Seattle, where I can live like on the outskirts of Seattle, close enough to the city where I still hear the noise, but still my own little world where it's not as busy, where I don't open my front door and I'm like on the street.
Town of Forks.
Yes. I feel like I need my own Ed. Were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Edward. Now,
I was Team
here's
Bella, if I'm being honest.
let me go back. In the books, I was for sure Team Edward.
Yes.
But I was very upset when they casted Edward.
I
I didn't like it. I actually didn't like when they casted Bella either. I was very upset about those.
I loved Bella. For obvious reasons.
I
I'm a
liked her
simp for
after.
Kristen Stewart.
Right.
I loved her the
After
second.
watching the movies, I loved her. And I was like, you know what? They did such a great job. But at first, I was just like, what?
The first
When you have
movie,
something
yeah.
in your mind and then you see it, you're like,
Yeah.
gosh, this is terrible. But yeah.
Out of everyone, like Wardy said, I think out of everyone in that entire movie, the four people that I thought that were casted incredibly well were Jasper, Alice, Carlisle, and Emmett. No, and Rosalie and everyone but Edward and Edward. I don't like Edward.
Everyone but Edward. Edward was terrible. I don't understand it. Now, don't get me wrong. By the end of the movies, I was like, okay, I'm, fine.
Yeah, it
You
made
get
more
used
sense.
to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not happy when they casted them because I read the books all before the movies. So,
Oh God, I really want to go back and reread the books, to be honest.
well, a new book just came out, and it's a
What?
prequel, right?
Oh right, of what's her face? Yeah.
So I'm thinking that when I finally get that maybe I'll read that, and then I'll go back and read all the other books. Right now, I have on my Amazon, on my Audible, I'm listening to the Harry Potter.
Have
Series
you
again.
seen the? I think there's a recent interview with Anna Kendrick, where she like reviewed her career, and she said during almost all of her scenes, I think she said in almost all of her scenes in Twilight, she were unscripted. And during the entire like first movie, everyone got like insanely depressed because of how much it rained, and they didn't know it was gonna rain, but the producers couldn't afford to like change them. Like apparently the movie was originally like Twilight was supposed to be filmed. It wasn't supposed to be that dark, but it just would not stop raining. So they had to
That's the
completely
point.
like change. Yeah, but they had like I guess they had the I read that they had they wanted it to be like kind of moody, but not as moody as it was. Like they had like a whole different like like intention for it, and it just kept raining and raining, and everybody hated it. And I'm like, it shows, because like by the last movie when they're not in fucking freezing 30-degree weather all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny. Country home equals bad internet. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's we gotta live in the city.
When I look for a country home, I'll just go in with my Wi-Fi, with my laptop. I'll take the one that Marcus brings the PC. Be like, "What's your Wi-Fi here?" See how it works. It's just what I'll have to do.
The whole mess.
Team Jasper for life. I did.
I loved Jasper. I loved Alice and Jasper. I loved their story.
Yeah.
I did like.
First time.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I liked the whole I don't remember if it was in the books, but I like what they did in the movie about how the whole jealousy thing I think it was Rosalie had towards Bella because she was with Edward and Rosalie wasn't.
It wasn't necessarily because
I don't remember. I just remember something like that.
She was with Edward. It's because she was human, basically.
Oh.
And she didn't. Yeah, like she didn't want to be a bit. Like she didn't ask for that. So for her, like like thinking into the future that Bella could have kids and Bella could do all of these things that.
Right. I keep forgetting the whole like. As much as I like the series, I keep forgetting the small like little like I remember the most random parts of that movie. Like I remember like in like New Moon was it where they just jumped off a cliff, but I don't remember anything else in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I can.
She was trying to do things because whenever she
to
would
get
do
like Edward
dangerous
back.
things, she would see Edward. Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Yep.
that. I remember him being like in the water or something, but I don't remember how it led up to it. Apparently,
Yeah.
this is going to be a Twilight podcast.
It was such a good series. I
God,
know so many people hated on it, but the book was actually really good.
I remember
Books
Miss
were good.
Noxie read, I think, Twilight on stream. I think it was
Really?
straight through. I think it was like a 24-hour stream or something like that.
What?
Absolutely. I remember, like, I had her up, like, when I was in class. I'm like, this is like an audiobook. It was great.
Yeah. And she has like that just nice voice.
It knocked me, like, whenever she would read. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to stay up, but her, like, she has such a soothing voice. Knocked me out.
What's this? A twinkling vampire? Now, yeah. The movie, I will admit, especially the first movie,
The
you
first
could
movie was
tell that
so
they were
cringy.
different. Because wasn't it like different directors? The first
E-
movie to the last three?
I
Pretty
think
sure it
so.
was. Yeah,
And they were
you
still
definitely
so,
could
like,
tell.
new to the first one. I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, they're good
You can still pick
actors, but y'all know Kristen Stewart's my baby.
it.
I am.
Yeah, so.
I'm excited to see Robert Pattinson play Batman
Eh.
because he's kind of been out of the limelight for a while.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
I
excited to
like
see
all
what he
about
does
the
with it.
original Batman. So, I'm not a big DC person.
I'm not a big Batman person. I don't like Batman. I liked Batwoman until Ruby Rose left. And now I'm like, fuck this. I'm going back to Flash.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
not a DC
that's
person.
another thing. What's your top 3 favorite movies? Or
Top
shows?
favorite movies. Shows. Well, show for sure. Gilmore Girls is my top one.
Oh,
I've watched
God.
it at least 5, 6, 7 times.
I'm about to restart that. I finished the entire fucking show in like a month.
Deja will tell you that. Oh, God. It's so hard. You can always think about shows that you love, and then when somebody asks you, you're like,
Oh, for sure. I think mine would have to be Gilmore Girls. Uh, I can't think. I can't think of any.
See? I'm telling you.
Uh, Movies at least would be Howl's Moving Castle. Ponyo I really liked, and it was so cute. I liked
I
Into the
like Howl's
Spider
Moving
Verse.
Castle, too. What was the last one?
Into the Spider Verse, obviously. I liked the Tom Holland Spider Mans too.
Yeah,
I'm
Into
really
the
into.
Spider-Verse is so good. We did a
God,
movie night with Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah, and I watched it again the other day for the 4th time.
That's hilarious.
I love it. It's so good.
Oh, for sure, movies. Of course, Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I feel like we've kind of
Harry
discussed
Potter
our
is like
favorite Harry Potter movies.
without Mickey. I feel like without a doubt you can't match Harry Potter with like any other movies. Like that I think was I'd say Harry Potter is probably my favorite movie series ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably like a Hunger Games.
I
I
never
actually
watched The Hunger
really
Games.
liked Hunger Games. You don't know what?
I never watched past the I watched half of the second one. And
Did
that's
you
it.
read the books?
No.
Okay, so
The
I read the
books were
books,
like
and
hmm.
they did an amazing job of telling the same story in the movies as they did in the books. Like, really good. And I think so probably that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
There's actually a new Hunger Games book coming out.
It
I
came
think it's
out, I
going to be a
think.
movie. Did it already come out?
I think so because I was gonna buy my friend it for her birthday, but I wasn't sure she liked the Hunger Games or not. But she ended up buying it.
Too. Yeah, I need to get that too.
What
I
are
think
your
it's going to be about snow. I think the book is all about snow.
oh
If I
the
remember correctly.
what are your favorite rank your Harry Potter movies in order? Because I know we talked about it, but we haven't talked about it on our
Yeah.
fancy podcast.
So,
We do movies
Goblet of
first.
Fire. Do movies first. Goblet
Yeah.
of Fire, one for sure. Um, my second favorite movie is definitely Hollow's Heart 2. And then, sorry guys, 1 second. One moment, please. Done.
Okay. I guess mine will be movie-wise. It would be the first one, Sorcerer's Stone. Then it would be the seventh one, the Deathly Hollow.
Two.
Yeah,
Part one.
both of them at the same time. I like them equally. And then I think I would do Goblet of Fire for third, Order of the Phoenix for fourth, Prisoner of Azkaban for five, and Half-Blood Prince as six. Or seven, I guess.
Yeah, so Goblet of Fire 1 for me, sure. I'm sorry guys, I'm back. This is why you don't ever have kids. Just don't do it, guys. I'd say number 2, definitely Hollows Part 2. Third would be Sorcerer's Stone. And I think I would go. This is where the end is off. For sure, my least favorite is Prisoner of Azkaban.
That movie was it's a letdown, I think. It's not horrible, but it's not their best.
Yeah, it just, I don't know what it was. When I do, like when I go through and do a marathon of the movies, sometimes I'll even skip Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, it's so weird. I don't know, I just don't like it. But I like the book. Like, the book was actually in the middle for me as one of my favorites, so.
It wasn't horrible, I don't think. I think it just, like, lacked, it felt rushed for me.
See, it was very long. It was like one of the longest movies, right?
I think so.
Maybe not. It felt like it was one of the longest movies.
What about books?
And that's another thing. The Order of the Phoenix was not one of my favorite books. It was probably in the middle, or movies, but the book was really, really good. Like, that was the movie adaptation that they did the worst to me.
For which one?
For Order of Phoenix.
I don't even remember that one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the scene where with the bus in the house that was, like, super small and then got really big. Was that in that movie?
The bus was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, then I don't remember that one at all.
Order of Phoenix was when, what's her name? Came.
Bellatrix. Hermione.
No, wait a minute. No. Yeah, Order of Phoenix was a really good book, but the movie, they just didn't do a good job. Order of Phoenix was the one where they came up with the group. Dark Arts.
Yeah, with Umbridge.
Umbridge. God, why can't I remember her name? I could see her whole body.
I can see her face in my head, yeah.
Umbridge came. Yeah. That book was so much better than the movie. The movie was okay, like, don't get me wrong, but the book was so much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Easy.
But for books, I definitely have to say, I don't know. Honestly, the books, they're all kind of pretty even for me.
See, I would put Deathly Hallows as the first. I would do the Sorcerer's Stone.
I could see that. I could see Deathly Hallows as first.
Then I would do... God. I didn't like Chamber of Secrets, the book. I would do Goblet of Fire, Prison of Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, then Chamber of Secrets. And I think it's just... I think the reason why I don't like Chamber of Secrets as much because it feels like a filler book. Because you always hear, it's just weird because you hear of, like, filler shows or filler episodes or chapters. That book itself felt like it was a filler to me.
Yeah, it does, because it, like, kind of had nothing to do.
It's just kind of like, oh, hey.
But it did. I guess it did, because, like, the Diary of Tom Riddle and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely is, like, the most forgettable book.
When I think about the Harry Potter book series, the first ones that come to mind are the first one and the last one. Because I feel like those are, like, the big, like, the big statement pieces. Everything else just kind of feels like, oh, hey, this happened between it.
But see, that's kind of like Goblet of Fire for me, because that's where you really see Voldemort in his full self for the
Oh,
first time.
right. At the beginning of Goblet of Fire, when they're at that fair thing, right? The tournament.
Well, but you don't see him, but you see the Death Eaters. But
Yeah.
the end of Goblet of Fire, the Portkey takes them to the cemetery,
Yeah.
where they bring him back to a whole person, or part. I mean, quotation marks, honestly. But yeah, so I think that's why
I just
Goblet of
keep
Fire
forgetting
2
about
is like
that.
another one for me.
See, I really like that movie. I don't know why I just don't remember. I also haven't watched that series in a while.
Thing is, there's so much in there. Like, I have the trivia game, and you think you know a lot about a series, and then
Oh
you play
god,
the
yeah.
trivia game, and you're like, what the fuck?
I have a
I'm
board game of
stupid.
it. It's like ridiculous. It's just like,
I'm
wait, who
like,
the
am
hell
I
is
truly a
this?
fan?
And then there's that whole like thing going on with J.K. Rowling. We're gonna reiterate the fact that you can like the content but not the content creator.
Yeah, yeah.
J.K. Rowling
And
is off her wagon a little bit, but that's
yeah,
fine.
I hate that. And you guys, I don't know if everybody knows here, but my son's trans, so female to male. So like that, it was like a day. I was like, wow, that kind of hurts, because this person who made these things that you love
Yeah,
is so close-minded and feels this way. It's like hard, you know? It's
yeah.
disappointing.
It really, but at the same time, it's kind of like we should have maybe seen it coming because when you look at the character, there aren't a lot of diverse characters in her book.
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
there's like Cho Chang is the only, I think she's one of the only Asian characters in the entire series. There's
Yeah.
Mike, I think was his name. I forgot his name. He jumped in like from time to time on the series, but um yeah, it something we should have seen at seen from the start,
Yeah. And now that you
but
say that, yeah, you're absolutely right.
isn't it
You are
crazy?
right. Just know
Mike,
Mike. Yeah, I don't
what
know
was
who
his
Mike is.
name? He always hung out with fucking the kid who got his eyebrows burned off. Um, God, I don't
But there's
remember.
not a lot of black. But that's the thing. There's not a lot of black characters. There is the Patel sisters.
Oh right.
But yeah, there's no. Now that I think about it, like there's no mention of any like LGBTQ characters.
Mm-mm.
God, dang, doesn't that make you like now? Oh God, it like gives me chills that I love this. It's I can't even form a sentence. It's so upsetting.
There's Lee Jordan was one of them. I don't know if that was the actor's name or the character's name. He was that kid who announced at the games at the fucking uh,
Yeah, the Patel sisters are Indian, but I'm saying like the diverse
Quidditch
characters.
games. Lee was
Oh,
the quid.
Lee.
Yeah, and then there was Bem. I'm looking at the
Ben.
list. He was in he was in that scene where the oh god, I don't remember her name. The teacher who was like psychic. I think he was in the
Uh,
Umbridge movie. He was in that one.
Milani or whatever.
I think, yeah, he was in that.
Are much more diverse in her books. Yeah, and that's because they probably said we have to do this, or people are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. There were a lot of people that I could have seen a lot of different actors playing. It's hard because of the like if you see someone like Sirius Black, when you think of Sirius Black, you see the actor. So it's hard to imagine it as somebody else, but
Yeah.
like it should have been someone else. Same with like
Do they tell you Harry is white, or do people just assume everything? They do tell you Harry is white.
yeah,
Um,
I think I saw on Twitter that one of J.K. Rowling's. I'm not sure if this is true, but I saw that a lot of people think that the reason why there aren't a lot of black people or gay people or LGBT people in Harry Potter was because of the area J.K. Rowling lived in. It was very, like, there weren't a lot of minorities. So she wrote about, like, what she saw. So she only had, like, one Asian character, a few black characters, no, I don't think there were any LGBT characters.
I really don't think so. Like, I'm trying to think, and I honestly do not think so at all.
Let's see if, oh, I type in LGBTQ characters, and the first thing that comes up is in Harry Potter. Oh, Dumbledore.
They did say Dumbledore, duh.
But that's after everybody else said he was
Yes.
gay, and then she's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
why not?"
Yeah, I don't think that was her. And yeah, Magma. A lot of people do say that Hermione should be black, and they did in the Cursed Child, right? They cast her as black. She's a black girl. She's beautiful too.
In the musical?
Is it a musical? It's not a musical. It's the screenplay, the Cursed
Oh,
Child.
I thought it was a musical. I didn't. I listen. I have the book. I opened it. I read 4 pages, and I never opened it again. I just didn't. I didn't.
Like a screenplay.
Yeah, I didn't like how it was written.
Yeah. But it is. I mean, it's a play, so that's why it's a screenplay. So yeah, so I get that. I would love to see it though in person.
I think if Harry Potter, if we like, because that's like a movie like I like personally for me, I grew up with Harry Potter because it's like they didn't add in different actors. Like they put out the movies when the actors were older and they fit each part of the movie, like age wise. If those actors would have been more diverse, I feel like a lot of the stuff in today's society would be different. But I feel like when those movies came out, it said a lot for the time that it was released in.
I could see that. No, though. The thing is like I totally get it if she grew up in a town and that's what she's seen around her. I get that. I do. People grow up that way, and that's fine. I just think it's the rest of it that is just like it's kind of you. Now you think about it. I didn't think about it at that time. Which again, white privilege. Of course, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of something like you don't. Yeah, it's not something that like you think about. Like it's not at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
Nicole says at one point she wrote. I'm guessing J.K. wrote Hermione as looking very brown after coming home from vacation, which could be argued either way. Yeah, I get that. Tonks was claimed by the LGBT community too. Yeah, Tonks was indeed claimed by the LGBT. And there was also the guy who played Draco. Oh god, what was his name?
Draco Malfoy?
Yeah, the guy who played him.
Draco?
Yeah. I remember he used to say a lot that when they were filming the movies and growing up, they were convinced that Harry and Draco were going to end up together because of the way the characters were originally being written in the first version of the movie. Like in the first script of it, it seemed like they were having a back and forth thing. I feel like if that would have happened, it would have been very. I don't want to say it would have thrown off the feel of the movie, but it would have changed it incredibly.
Yeah, but see, I don't think any of
Tom
this
Felton.
Oh
god, thing. Yeah, not a chance.
So.
That's the thing. I think J.K.
How the movies were made was how she wanted it to be made.
She did have a heavy part in it.
She says now that she that Harry and Hermione should have ended up together. I have heard that.
Yeah, I've seen that around. I don't think. Yeah, I don't like that. I've always liked. I don't like stories that have the main character falling in love with someone. Like, it doesn't always have to be like that, I don't think. And I feel like if it was Hermione and Harry, I feel like. I don't know. I've always seen them as friends.
Yeah, like sister-brother relationship.
Yeah. But hey, it's J.K. Rowling. It's J.K. Rowling. I wouldn't be surprised if she came out saying that they were siblings and they did the do. I just never would have wanted Hermione to be overshadowed by that. Oh yeah, if her and Harry were together, she would have been overshadowed without a chance.
Yeah.
She would be like
I like
Ginny.
how they did it with her and Ron.
Yeah, it was a lot more like it was better that way, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Like it was, they let them shine through as the individuals and what they helped with, for sure. And then at the end, it was like the big bang of them finally kissing under the water, splashing down on them. Like I love that. So I couldn't imagine it any other way.
I feel like the movie does a better job of representing each characters than the books do.
Some of the characters I don't like, in which this is any movie. Some of the not so main characters, you don't learn as much about them in the movies. So that's why I do love books, because even like the small characters in the background you learn more about. Like
Yeah.
Tonks in the movies, you don't really.
She had like 4 lines.
Yeah, like it wasn't a lot, but in the books you learn so much about Tonks, and it makes you like fall in love with her.
Oh yeah.
And Remus too, like even Remus, like even though he had a whole movie kind of, about him being a werewolf or whatever, it's still, you still don't learn enough about him in the movies as you did in the books. And I think that's why with the Prison of Azkaban, I just don't like that movie.
Yeah, I get it. It definitely fell short, I think.
How Harry and Ginny ended up together, and Ron and Hermione. That way, they're all more or less family. Yeah, it's kind of like it was meant to be, because they all were very, very close, and might as well have been family. So yeah, I definitely get why that happened, and it going that way. I would not have liked it if Harry and Hermione got together. I know a lot of people say they wanted them together, but not me.
I wish that Luna Lovegood would have had more of screen time. Her family and her story in the book was so good.
Again, another one, and with Neville too.
Yeah, and the whole stuff with Neville potentially being the Lou, thank you for the host.
Woo!
A host with 4 viewers. Does that count as a raid?
Let's go.
How are you? How was your stream? Did he end?
Oh yeah, he did. He did it.
Well, thank you
Looks like he's still streaming.
for bringing your friends over. How was your stream? You're playing. I was lurking actually. You're playing GTA, right?
Vice City.
God, talk about an old school game.
Yeah, the way it looks.
Wow, the disrespect. Hi, Hedo.
Disrespect.
Or the old school game.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
We were this
almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we're at 148. This was supposed to be getting to know us, but true to our form, we went off on tangents, and somehow we're talking about Harry Potter now, and the lack of diversity in Harry Potter.
Chaotic mess.
Hey, it's good though.
Lou might remember. Lou, what was it that I called the podcast? I said, "What's this, a podcast?" And then I was like,
Hedo, thank you for the follow.
And then
Nerds.
I was like, the chaotic something. It was in your stream, Lou. So remember this.
This will show if you really care about your stream or not.
He doesn't. He doesn't know anything about me.
Exotic Hedo, thank you guys for the follow.
I said we were about to start the podcast, and he goes, "Oh, you're doing a podcast? What are you doing a podcast about? Who are you doing a podcast with?" And I'm like, "Hey."
I think Lou is very, yes, you have to take notes. I think Lou is very upset we didn't invite him to co-host. But it's fine. He will be on a guest. He's gonna be a guest. We're gonna make him be a guest on the next episode. Should we do? I think Lou would be a great guest for the next episode.
He would be a great guest for the next episode. So Lou, next episode is gonna be, we're gonna talk about different people we've met on Twitch, and different personalities that we've seen, and different, like, I think even experiences that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would be another good person. Yeah, he would be a good person to have as a guest for sure.
Right.
Oh, the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. On the next episode of What's This, a Podcast? Dun, dun, dun.
We gotta commission people to make an intro and outro song for us.
We do.
Yaren asks, what character, with exception of the Golden Trio, would y'all date? Not including Ron, Hermione, and Harry.
Right. Right.
God, I don't know. I'd say...
God. That's actually a hard question. What's really weird is I've never thought about that with Harry Potter.
Neither have I.
I've never been like, ooh, I like them, or ooh, I would date them.
Dean Thomas is very cute. I would say Dean Thomas or Luna Lovegood.
I love Luna, but to me, she's more like my sister type.
Really?
And actually, what's crazy is her birthday is like 2 days before mine.
It's either
Luna's birthday.
It's either Luna or Hermione for me. Weasley twins.
Yes.
Oh God. I can't. I'm not ready for the trauma that was the death of the Weasley brother. And I say Weasley brother because I don't remember which one died.
Same. Oh yeah, I will say with looks, definitely Dean Thomas.
He was so cute. Or Neville in the last movie.
Oh God, have you seen Neville now?
Yes.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Lord.
Oh Lord.
I could see myself actually dating Neville. He's quirky.
He's cute. Yeah.
Kind of nerdy. I could see that. Yeah. That's so weird.
It's
though,
so.
You don't think I have never thought about that.
Yeah, it's so weird to because I think it's because we like. I don't want to say watch them grow up because that's weird to say, but we did watch them grow up and we grew up with them. So it's weird to be like, oh, I like this character, but like you also saw them when they were a kid. I don't know. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
Hagrid.
What was Dean Thomas in? Well, his character. What's his name? Alfred.
Alfred something. Yeah.
There's a show that he was in that I watched, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy is nice looking." Oh my God, what show was
Is that what you said? This guy is nice looking.
Yes, it was. Oh, How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, he was in that?
He was one of the main characters at the beginning. No spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah.
Oh, I'm never gonna watch that show. I say I'm gonna watch a show and then I forget about it.
Yeah, I know. I have to remind you 1,000 times to watch something. Just like how we've reminded Magma to watch Zoe's
Extraordinary Playlist. Oh my God, that's such a good show.
We would love it, and we would
Not
rewatch
cool.
it with you.
I've rewatched that show several times. So
I started
good.
to the other day, but I've been watching Heart of Dixie.
I was trying to watch.
That worked with dragons. That was Bill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bill?
No.
Bill Weasley?
Yes.
No?
Yes. I thought his name was Scott for a second. I don't know why.
Scott? What the fuck?
I don't know. Scott Weasley just.
It doesn't even sound like a Weasley name.
Weasley.
I'd cuddle with Hagrid though, but I'd date the living shit out of Luna.
Luna cute. Luna do be looking cute.
She is cute. She was on Dancing with the Stars.
What?
She did really well in there. Yeah, she did really well on it.
I can see it. Who is your favorite? Go ahead.
I was just reading Magma's finished report cards.
Oh, sick. Finally. Are you done?
School's out, right? God, you guys go super late.
Dude, and I thought going until mid-May was late. Ugh.
Yeah.
Actually, I finished school before the 10th. So, I ended it pretty early. Well, everyone finally passed. It only took a pandemic? I'm kidding. It only took me a pandemic to get onto honor roll. Listen, this last semester, it has been the best school semester I've ever had. Like, I'm on honor roll. I fucking kicked ass. It only took the world ending for that to happen, but...
Hey, sometimes that's what it takes. Gotta get that kick in the butt. Marcus does online schooling, and I don't know what happened, but this last semester he did actually finished really well.
I'm happy.
Yeah, it's been rough. A lot of you know Marcus and know like all of the things that we go through, so it's rough. But yeah, that online schooling, doing it online is not easy.
Just
It's
fucking
just not.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's because I underestimate how heavily I rely on the environment around me to do well. Because, like, this last semester, I was, like, in my room 24/7. Like, doing homework. I was staying up late, doing homework, all in my room. And then it's just, like, as soon as class is end, I'm like, holy shit, this is so much better. Like, I'm done. Which is
Yeah.
why I'm moving, which I decided to move back to campus because I need that environment.
Like I said, listen to Mama Marcus.
If
That's not
Nicole,
the first thing I said.
that was the first thing you said. If Nicole was my teacher, I'd give a presentation about dinosaurs. I think that's a good way to get the best grades. Some just cannot focus online and do not have the right environment at home. Doesn't mean that their family is bad. Uh, it's just not where they need to be. Yeah, I
That's
100% agree.
absolutely true. Because I have one that's one way and one that's the other. Deasia, excellent with online. She thrives online.
I cheat. I'm gonna be honest. I cheated
Marcus.
on all my classes, and my teachers know. They were all like, "We'd be idiots to not assume that you're gonna be using your notes and the internet for homework and quizzes. If you're gonna use them, use the right ones." And some of them would even give us like links to proper Quizlet sites and like use this. I don't want you to fail on an online semester, which is pretty cool. So,
Yeah, that is nice.
stop it, Mickey. Gotta bounce to Amy's chat. She's not live yet, but I want to be there in advance. Bye. Loving stuff. Yaren, thank you for hanging out. Tell Amy we said hi, and we might be seeing
Yeah.
her soon.
Color XOXO.
And you know what? That's what we do in life anyway. I don't remember every single science fact. Listen, the classes I remember stuff in are the ones that relate to like directly to my major, like business and marketing and economics. But the stuff like theology or psychology, philosophy, I don't remember shit in.
Yeah,
I
I
almost
wasn't
said
a
a
great
sociology. I'm
student.
like, what? I was shit in high school. I was a horrible student in high school, and
I
then
barely went.
I barely passed. I think they just passed because they felt bad for me. And then as soon as college hit, I'm like, oh, this shit is easy.
Really?
I loved, I love being treated like. I love not being treated like a child. Because in high school, all my teachers is like, well, you don't know what you're doing. You need help. You're not going to do this. And then in college, they're just like, you know what you're doing? Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I can't even imagine. I really hope Deasia sticks with her plan and goes to college because I didn't go to college. That's what's crazy is I did not have one college course. And I think I have a pretty good job and make pretty good money for, you
Yeah,
know.
I think there's a huge stigma around having to go to school to do well in life. Like, I don't believe in that at all. Like, in any form of the way. Like, it helps, yeah, but you can get by without college.
Yeah. Well, hello, here I am. I mean, I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong, I have my struggles, but I feel like people that go to college have the same struggles sometimes. So,
Oh, yeah, you're kicking ass now.
you want
Aw.
to say that,
I
huh?
do. I'm on stream. Did you guys hear Mickey growl at me because I wasn't petting him enough?
You guys missed it, but when Marcus was in here talking, then Piper was all up on me trying to lick me, and I'm like, if you two don't get the hell away from me.
What are you biting me for?
Oh, I heard it again.
He's
Oh
snoring.
gosh. Yeah, so I think this is probably like a good spot to end, don't you think? Does anybody else have any like questions about us? I know this was to get to know us, which I feel like you did because you got to know like our interests and how nerdy we are.
And you saw how often, like, the amount of times we went off topic here is how often we go off topic when we're just talking to each other. Like,
Yeah,
the
it's
conversations we
crazy.
have, like, when we're just playing video games, absolutely, like, you can't, it's impossible to follow it, because we just kind of, like, fucking just talk about random shit. and somehow the other knows where we're going.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because then when we add people in, a lot of times now they've gotten so used to us too. Like when Lou does a podcast, that's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Oh God, yeah. Nicole
He's
asks.
used to us.
Lou is very much like us, I think.
Yeah.
Nicole asks, if there's an alternate universe, what was the one choice that would have made you a very different person than the one you are today?
I know mine.
You can share yours if you want.
This is so crazy, but it would be unprotected sex.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have your kids then.
I wouldn't have Deja, which, don't get me wrong, I love my kids. I never wanted kids. That's what's so crazy is I never wanted kids. I would, if I didn't have my kids, I would be traveling all over. I would be a totally different person. Traveling all over. I would have definitely not been where I'm at this long.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to own like a bakery because I love baking cakes and decorating cakes and all of that. And so I definitely would have done that.
Speak of baking, real quick, I gotta send you the clip from when Marcus was doing a cooking live stream and you held the bowl up to show the camera.
I was I taking shots?
Yeah, it was because you held it. You held it at a full. Did you just hit your head? You held it at a full angle, and you just watched it fall, and you went, "Oh no!" And Marcus just rolled his eyes so much.
Oh,
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, Nicole. I really don't feel like that sometimes. It's hard. It's a big balance. Like when you have kids, and I'm getting emotional. I don't know why. Like, what the hell? It's a whole job.
Oh yeah.
Like, my kids are so different from each other that it's 2 jobs. Like it's crazy. It's so hard. But again, I never wanted kids. I am so happy I had my kids because the joy when they do things and like Deasia graduating, I know you guys are sick of hearing me talk about Deasia graduated last week, but I can't help it. It's just so proud. It's like the proudest thing that you'll ever do is raise this little human being to grow up and to partly not be an asshole and to want to do things. You know what I mean? Because like my kids are assholes, but hello, I'm an asshole. So, but if there was a different alternate me, I would definitely say no kids, and I would be a traveling fool. I would be all over the world for sure. The good thing is after my kids are grown, I'm still actually pretty young. I could technically still do that if I wanted to.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So,
I think mine would be. I've told a good amount of the people in here, and I've told you, Marcus, about. In high school, I used to be best friends with these 2 people. They're siblings. They're sisters, and they were like I had invested in this. Like I learned from that. I learned that I put too much trust into people, but I'm not. That's something I'm never gonna change. I don't think. But I learned a lot from it. But I learned that from that experience, I learned that how easy it is for me to get like I think I've been described as like an empath. Is that what they're called? I fed off their emotions so much, and they were both very like dark, not dark, but they were always looking at the negative thing. They were looking at the negative aspect of life, and from that, like it drove me into a very deep depression. If I would have stayed friends with them after everything that happened, I am pretty sure I wouldn't be on Twitch now. I wouldn't have gone to school. I'm pretty sure I would have dropped out and worked at like some like crappy job. That would have completely. I think out of everything, that would have changed like so much if I would have stayed friends with them.
Isn't that crazy though? Just that one tiny thing could really just change your whole life.
But it's also like I don't regret anything that happened. Like I'm thankful for that because I've learned that like, okay, not everyone is as good as you want them to be or you think they are, which is fine. Everyone has their own. Everyone's in their own part of their lives. Everyone's in their own like everyone has their own stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's a lesson well learned, and I'm thankful for having learned it.
Yeah. I think that's another reason why we get along so well, though, too, is kind of the same way. Like, don't get me wrong, we all have our negative days to where, hello, last night at the end of the stream, I was a total bitch, but it happens. But more than most of the times, we're both like, whatever. It could have been this or it could have been that.
Yeah,
Like
it always could have been worse.
yeah, exactly. So I think like I can't stand someone that asks you for help. And this is another thing we can kind of get into this next week because we know a person like this. But when they ask for help and they tell you they want help, but then every single thing you say is a negative comeback or a negative like that's not going to work or this I just can't stand it. Like, don't ask me for help if you're not going to take it, and don't think that there isn't something that could help you, because in the end there's always something that's going to be able to help you fix whatever problems.
Yeah, it could always be worse, and you can always find a way to fix something. Like, nothing stays bad. Like, there's a dark part of it, but then it has a silver lining at the end. Everything works out, because I personally believe that things always have to work out. I don't think things stay bad permanently.
If they stay bad, it's because you're choosing for them to stay bad.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Yeah, it's you. I believe in attracting. Like, if you put out negative energy, you're gonna attract negative energy. If you put out good energy, you're gonna attract good energy. And there are a lot of people, I think, that we both know that are very like only putting out negative energy, and it's like emotionally draining.
Yeah, it is very draining, and it's very like, why am I? That's when those are the type of people that you just have to step back from.
Yeah.
I'll be nice to you when I see you, and I'll try to support you any way I can, but I'm not going to be trying to be your cheerleader when you're not trying to help yourself at all.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, period. And
this kind of goes into next week's conversation too.
Next week I think is going to be a very loaded. Is it going to be next week or
whenever we do it? Next podcast.
Next podcast.
Next episode.
Well, I think we'll like throw down the schedule eventually, but at the same time, how do you get people to be positive? Well, I think you can't force anyone to think a certain way. If somebody wants to, like, after a certain point, if people who ask for your help and you give them as the best help you can give, if they don't want to accept that, then that's kind of like on them.
Yep.
Like, you can't expect people to always be in the same mindset that you're in, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're in that negative mindset, I'm gonna be the first person to admit it. I've been incredibly guilty of it before, where if I'm in a negative mindset and people want me to be like, oh, be positive, it could always be worse, I'm like, well, you don't understand, and then I get mad when they don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's gonna understand. Yeah.
At this moment, no. I'm gonna be a bitch.
Yeah, and it's okay to be angry and to feel like shit and to hate the world around you. I think if we didn't have that, the world would be in a very different place, and I don't think it would be I don't think it would be different for the better. So I do think those shitty moments and those negative moments do spark a lot of change, so I don't think trying to change anyone will help in any sense, if that makes sense.
This is where I'm taking it back to. That's why you have to decide who you're going to be around and what you're going to let them, how you're going to let them make you feel. Like, it's your choice to be negative. It's your choice to be positive. And again, I have positive moments all the time. Ask my children. You guys have heard it on stream when I stream. Like, it happens to the best of us. But if it's just constantly that's your life, then a lot of it does have to do with who you grew up with and who you grew up around too, honestly. But to me, that's not really an excuse either, because we know that there's a lot of bad people out there and they raised good children and good people. So in the end, I feel like it's your choice. So I can't make you, or nobody can make you be positive, but we can be positive and, try to walk you through things and show you that this is what this feels like and that this feels good. And maybe that'll help you.
Yeah. I think what
down and depressed.
Yeah, I think what Bro said makes a lot of sense. A lot of people do not want to change; they just want things to change for them. And
Because
it's
they want
like,
attention too.
yeah, and it's like if you're not gonna put, I understand needing a break. Listen, if you need, it's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with needing a week or two, maybe even a month to just sit down and like process everything. And maybe that is a darker mindset for you. Maybe you don't feel the best then, but there is nothing wrong with that. But allowing yourself to live in that mindset for long periods of times and then getting mad when things aren't automatically changing for you, when you aren't actively looking for that change, that's what I think is what brings down. I think that's what makes it make or breaks a lot of people. Can make or break a lot of people. Where like, no, I was saying, go ahead, you cut out.
No, you said we're like, and then what were you saying?
Um, or like the one person I think that we're both like kind of thinking about, Mom Marcus. Where it's like, yes, it's a shitty moment. It feels like the world's against you. And it's something that, like, we're never going to fully understand because we're not in that person's shoes. We don't know what they're going through. But only thinking that nothing is going to change, only thinking that the world's against and the only thing that everything sucks isn't going to help anything. I think we've all been through those moments where we feel like we're like at the end where we just don't want to do anything like anymore. We just want to give up. But the fact that you're able to like being able to overlook those dark moments can really change. Like, it could snap the perspective in half and completely change everything, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading chat. People need a lot of motivation to change. Some people just don't have a good enough reason to do it. And I totally agree with that. But that's why if I'm trying to be the best friend, and I'm not saying that like I'm perfect or I'm the best, because I'm definitely not. I have a lot of flaws. But one thing I know that I am is I do know I am a good mother. I've not, my children are alive and they're pretty good people. And I know that if I'm your friend, I am a great friend. And at any moment that I can, I'm going to be there and I'm going to try to help you through it. And if that's not good enough, that's just, to me, that person has to find another person that is going to be good enough, or another thing that's going to be good enough to get them to change what they want to do. So I totally agree with what you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's okay to not have the motivation to change, but bringing those around you down because of something you don't want to do or you do want to do, it is not going to help anyone, I don't think. It's just encouraging that negative behavior to continue.
Yeah. My family deals with tough times by ignoring it, shopping and drugs. It works so far. I mean, are you guys happy though?
Yeah, my family is kind of like that too, where it's getting real right now. My family life is very up and down. It's kind of like you never really know what's going to happen next. But I think because everybody has their own way of coping with things, I think that's okay. And while we might not entirely agree with it or think it's the healthiest or the best, if nobody is getting hurt, and if it's truly how that person wishes to continue their life, and if you've tried to help them and they don't want to, then there really is not much you can do with it. And you can't force anyone to do something they don't want to. Which, like, I get it. It sucks because you want the best for someone, but sometimes the best for someone is the worst for them right now. Like, what you think is the best isn't the best for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna read Bro's comments. My mate who radioed the other day, he had a shit upbringing. He was walking 16 kilometers home from work at 11 p.m. at night just to make rent. He found a reason to change himself, which then fell right back apart. However, once he realized he was able to change, he's on such an incredible grind right now. Family's hard. They're not just friends or temporary people. Exactly, yeah. I think once you find that, like, once you realize that you are able to make a difference, you are able to make a change, it is, each time you make that change, easier, I think.
Because you're like, at first you're like, ugh, I can't do this. Like, this is just isn't possible. But then that first thing that you do that changes something, you're like, whoa, wait a second. And it like pushes you and it gives you that hope for more. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Be a positive feedback loop. I love that. Yeah. If you are positive, if you attract positive, or positive attracts positive.
Yeah. You are not obliged to be pulled down by them either. Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. I love these people that, are sometimes like this, but it's like, I'm not going to keep myself around you because I have depressed moments too. Sandra knows, like, and I, we've been there. Like, there's been days where I don't talk to anybody because it's like I'm just over it and I can't deal with people. But just that constantly, I couldn't imagine. But again, I do take medicine, and that's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I take Prozac for my depression, and I know it's not for everyone. I know everyone doesn't like to take medicine, but I was in a point to where I cried every single day, all day, about nothing. I went to the doctor and was like, I can't do this anymore. And so we tried the Prozac at a very low dose, and it helped, and we raised it, and it's helped. So, drugs part, I get it, Fat. Like, I totally understand that.
Yeah, I mean, if it helps and overall in the big picture nobody's getting hurt, then by all means. I think there's such a stigma around taking depression, antidepressant medication, anti-anxiety medication. Like,
Yeah.
if it helps you, and if anything helps you, and you're staying healthy and you're staying safe, then by all means go for it.
Exactly.
And that extends to like talking to somebody, seeing a therapist, or taking medication, or just talking to your friends whenever you need someone to talk to. Like,
Yep.
it's okay to reach out. And I think that's a lot of I think I don't want to say a lot of people are afraid to do it. It's a big jump, and I understand being scared to make that jump.
Yeah. Sure.
You
I'm
can,
scared about things.
yeah,
Honestly.
being scared is what drives people.
Yeah.
You can always make a change if you find a good enough reason to do it. In other words, you need a goal, even if it's a small one. You have no idea how small it needs to be. Yeah,
Yep.
any form of goal, even if it's just like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to make myself breakfast. That's a goal that once you complete it, you like, you realize that, like, okay, you don't have to wake up feeling or putting yourself down every day. And I've had those moments where, like, I feel like shit. Like, the second I wake up, I just don't want to be awake. And
Yep.
then
Same.
from there, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, tomorrow I want to wake up and I just don't want to think about that specific topic. So I'm going to do everything in my power to avoid that topic. And then each day following just becomes easier and easier.
Right. Yep.
And I feel like that can be, like, as much as we talk about it now, we did only spend like 18 minutes talking about it. We can have a full episode about mental health and stuff like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
As we
there's
were
so many.
talking about, it's like, yes.
Yeah, there's so many different perspectives on it. I think it would be cool to get different people with different backgrounds and upbringings to come on and like guest and talk about like their stories and what they've been through, because we all have different stories and that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be
So that
represented
brings me
more.
to a question though for chat. So, of course, we wanted to do like shows like this where we just talked and back and forth with chat. We love that. But also, would you guys like to see us do like certain topics? Like, would you like to see us talk about, a cold case, or talk about something? What was the thing that you wanted to talk about with the space and
Oh,
all that? Like,
the NASA came out with the parallel universe theory, and they pretty much like confirmed it.
yeah, like, would you guys like topics like that, or do you like the more open, just discussion like we've done?
I was thinking about creating a Google Docs where people can just like submit it anonymously, where they don't have to include their usernames if they don't want to, where they just like submit different topic ideas, that type of stuff, and then we can go through all of them, do all of them, or pick and choose.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I will be posting that in my Discord. Wait, but real quick, can you smash your controller again? That makes my K member. I didn't smash my controller. Everyone, fucking Lou got everyone on that, I think. I didn't break my controller. It stopped working.
Oh, yesterday? Oh, I'm so mad I missed the
It
final
stopped
episode
mid
of the
fucking.
controller.
Listen, I was pressing a button and then just went. It just like beeped and it stopped. I'm like, fucking damn it! How do I end this? I got a new one though. It's fine. It works. No drift. We're good. Tomorrow's stream will be better.
You and this controller has been like a TV series I have been watching, and I'm so mad. I missed the series finale.
It's a VOD. Go back and watch it.
But I was hiking, and I love me some hiking, so can't be mad about that.
It's in the VOD. It's in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it because I'm sure it's funny. And then Lou was there. Oh, that's gonna be good times for sure.
He was shitting on me the entire time. You know him.
Wait, he didn't never answer us if he wants to be on the episode next week.
He doesn't have a choice. He already answered me actually the other day when he was during his 12-hour.
Yeah, he did say be on it, but I wanted to make. I'm sure he'd be fine with that episode.
Oh, he's been. I think Lou Merck. For those who don't know him, he has been around on Twitch for quite a while, a couple of years now, and he's seen a lot. So he doesn't have a choice now because I'm calling him out. Lou, your ass is going to be on that episode. Yeah, that's his link. He rated us earlier. Please go check him out. He is one of our favorite people.
That's where Fat Corn came from, right?
Mm-hmm. Fat Corn, Hato, Exotic Films.
Yeah. Lou is as old as time.
Lou is like a 60-year-old in a 20-year-old body. He just.
He has lips at times too, so don't judge him on that. He's a good person. He tries to act like he's a big badass, but.
Am I? Yeah, Lou acts like a badass, but he's not. He's.
Did you hear the topic for next week that you're going to, or not next week, next episode that you're going to be on? I keep saying next week. All I know is it ain't mine.
He's.
Yeah. I think we should be good for the day. I think this was a pretty good first episode. Still announces his stream as Justin TV.
All I know is it ain't mine. I'm taking that as a yes. He's gonna be on episode. See, the thing is, Lou talks all big and shit, but as soon as I brought it up in his stream, I asked him to be in his episode. He didn't be in an episode. He did not hesitate to say yes.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is,
he loves us. He tries to act like he doesn't.
All right.
He sure loves you.
Oh yeah, everybody loves me. All right.
You have no choice.
Do you want to shout out your socials, Marcus, before we end? And then I think we could raid God is a Girl or Amy.
Socials.
Your social media.
Oh, I know, but I don't know my names in them.
Well, you should look on the screen because I did a good job of putting it on the fucking screen.
There you go. Yeah, that's my Twitter. I've been trying to get on Twitter a little bit more.
Change the username so it's.
Fuck you, Lou. Need to just
shout yourself out.
Oh, sorry.
God damn.
So that's my Twitter and that's my Instagram. Again, with how I get bored with games, I get bored with social media, so I'll be on there a lot. Same with Snapchat. I'll be just sending stuff after stuff, and then all of a sudden you won't hear from me for 3 weeks, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's her Twitch. Make sure to go follow her. Are you going to stream today?
I don't know.
I think you should. I say yes.
Tonight. Some more of The Last of Us.
Yes.
Get past that fucking part. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess that concludes our first episode. Everyone who is here.
Shout out your own stuff.
I'm already on this channel. I shout my Poxi Plays, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else. This is my channel. So, hi, hello. If you haven't already, please drop a follow. Join the Discord. If you haven't already, that's where we will announce when we go live. I will also be downloading this episode and posting. I'll be making like a highlight folder on my Twitch, and I'll be posting it on the Discord and on my Twitter. If you want to watch it later.
She's like a professional.
Doing it for 2 years. uh, so like every other stream, I want to go through the activity feed and say shout outs, huge shout outs, and big thank you to Fatcorn for the follow and the tier 1 sub. Greatly appreciate it. Urine, thank you for hanging out. Nicole, thank you for hanging out. Lucky, thank you for hanging out. Lou, thank you for the host and the /raid. Hedo, Exotic Films, thank you guys for the follows. Bro, thank you for stopping by. I'm missing a bunch of people.
Thanks for just listening to us.
Thanks for listening to us talk or go off on tangents.
Our ADD lives. This is it. This is what you get.
This is what you get. We will be rating. We will be rating God is a Girl, Amy. I can't type and talk at the same time. She's playing Elder Scrolls Online, so a bit different than podcasting, but she is a good friend and she is very nice. And check her out. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Marcus, any last words before we raid?
We love y'all and drink up, bitches.
Drink up. Have a great rest of your Sunday or Monday or Saturday, depending where you are. I'll see you guys. I will be going live tomorrow, I think. Mama Marcus will be going live tonight. And she doesn't have a choice. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thanks, Fat.
And yeah, see you guys later.
Alright, see ya!
Bye! Wait, don't say anything.